This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(1:15 p.m.) This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The adjournment debate on the government's policy statement begins today. The President praises the defence sector for their efforts to safeguard the judiciary, executive and the Constitution. The President also pointed out that the unrest situation which prevailed in the country was more dangerous than the North-East War. Japan provides 26 million rupees worth essential medicines to pregnant women, youth in the country. Cost-based pricing formula for domestic LP gas. The government has decided to develop 7 urban councils as 3 Pradesh Sabhas. In foreign news, China continues drills in possible attempt to normalize pressure against Taiwan. News in detail. Parliament is scheduled to meet this afternoon to commence the adjournment debate which was moved by the opposition last week on the government's policy statement presented by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. On August 3rd, following the ceremonial opening of the 3rd session of the 9th Parliament, President Wickremesinghe delivered the government's policy statement in the House. Accordingly, the 3-day adjournment debate on the policy statement will be held from today. As this is an adjournment debate, no voting will be held at the end of the debate, according to the Secretary-General of the Parliament, Dhammika Dassanayake. In the meantime, the amendment bill with regard to the Appropriation Act No. 30 of 2021 for the year 2022 will be presented to the Parliament during today's session from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. President Ranil Wickremesinghe visited the Army headquarters in the Akulagoda. Upon his arrival, the head of state was received by Army Commander Lieutenant General Wikum Liyanage and Defence Secretary Kamal Gunaratne. The Guard of Honour was conducted by the Gajabah Regiment during the visit. President Wickremesinghe was accompanied by Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. The President has praised the efforts taken by the defence sector to safeguard the powers of the judiciary, executive and the Constitution. He said if the protesters caused damage to the Parliament, the constitutional activities could not be implemented. As the supremacy of the Parliament is safeguarded, the situation of the country was changed. If not so, the country would become an anarchy. The unrest situation prevailed in the country was more dangerous than the North-East War. The President also said that it is the responsibility of the parliamentarians to take the parliamentary activities forward while winning of the people's confidence. It is expected to bring new proposals of constitutional amendments and parliamentary reforms in the future. If an all-party administration can be built, the economic problems in the country can be solved easily. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
According to the MOU agreement reached between Sri Lanka and Japan, many employment opportunities for Sri Lankans have been made in 14 fields in Japan. Japan language proficiency is essential in this regard. Plans have also been made to provide jobs for 345,000 migrants under the Special Skilled Employment Program. Meanwhile, the government of Japan, through partnership with UNFPA, has provided 26 million rupees worth essential medicines to pregnant women and youth in Sri Lanka. Ambassador of Japan to Sri Lanka, Hideaki Mizukoshi, yesterday handed over the stock of essential pharmaceuticals for pregnant women and the youth worth about 26 million rupees to the Minister of Health, Dr. Kelia Ramukwala, at the Minister of Health, the Japanese embassy said. The government is planning to amend the charges of water sewerage. The cabinet approval has been received to the proposal submitted by the Minister, Kelia Ramukwala. It has been identified that water bill charges should be amended in order to provide water supply to the people continuously and to confirm the financial stability in the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. The Cabinet of Ministers has green-lighted the proposal to implement a cost-based pricing formula for domestic LP gas. The pricing formula is expected to be updated on the 5th of every month. The decision was taken with the intention of ensuring uninterrupted supply of LP gas. Minister Banthula Gunawardena says that the government has decided to develop 7 urban councils as the municipal council and 3 Pradeshya Sabhas to urban councils. Cabinet approval has been received to the relevant cabinet paper submitted by the Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, the Minister of Local Government Bodies. Accordingly, the urban councils of Kaluthara, Kegol, Putlam, Mana, Ampara, Trincomalee and Vavuniya will be developed as municipal councils. Munragala, Kiluneshchi and Mullaitiya Pradeshya Sabhas will be developed as urban councils. The National Transport Commission says the amended bus fares should be displayed in buses from today. It has been reported that some private buses are still charging old fares. The Director General of the Commission, Nilan Miranda, said that most of them are not following the new rules. He also stated that all bus conductors should charge the correct bus fares. And that ends local news for now.
Imagine if you could maintain a firm hold of your operations from anywhere. People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Power and Energy Minister Kanchan Wijesekara has held a discussion on the distribution of fuel for vehicles in the public transportation and taxi service industries. He said the discussion was focused on fuel requirements of the Ceylon Transport Board and private buses and taxis. During the meeting, it was decided to identify the fuel requirements for each category by the National Transport Commission (NTC) with the assistance of the provincial councils and recommend the quantities to the Power and Energy Ministry. Minister Wijesekara also said once the requirements are received, the ministry will look at the possibility of allocating additional quotas for those requirements on a separate QR code by next week. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Residents in Alpitia say that the children's park, which belongs to the Alpite Pradeshya Sabha, is in a dangerous situation for the children. The maintenance work at the park has been abandoned. The sports gear at the park have also been deteriorated. It has also been reported that the premises has become a dengue breeding place. This is for the attention of the Secretary to the Alpite Pradeshya Sabha, and that came to you in Watchlight.
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
On to a bulletin of world news in the headlines. China continues drills in possible attempt to normalize pressure against Taiwan. Raila Odinga and William Ruto in tight race for presidential election in Kenya. Tributes to Greece star and singer dies age 73. World news in detail. China has continued military drills around Taiwan beyond their scheduled end date. Concern is rising that China's military pressure may become a regular fixture in the area. The Chinese Military Eastern Theater Command said the drills continued in the seas and skies of Taiwan yesterday. China's foreign ministry spokesperson said the same day that Taiwan is part of China's territory. He added China has conducted normal military drills in the waters of its own territory. China launched the exercises in response to a visit to Taiwan by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Kenyans are choosing their next president after an intense campaign dominated by debates about living costs, unemployment and corruption. Outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta, having served the constitutionally limited 2 terms, is backing one-time foe Raila Odinga, 77, to succeed him. His decision followed a falling out with Deputy President William Ruto, 55, who had expected to be endorsed. More than 22 million Kenyans have registered to vote. There are several other elections happening at the same time, and a mix-up of ballot papers in some areas for some of those voters has again raised questions about the organization of the general election. Tributes have been paid from around the world to Olivia NewtonJohn, who has died from cancer, aged 73. The British-born Australian singer and actress was best known for playing Sandy in Grease, one of the most successful film musicals ever made. Her Grease co-star, John Travolta, said she made all of our lives so much better, while its director said, "What you see is what you get with her." She died peacefully at her California ranch, surrounded by family and friends. And that was world news. And on to development news. The Department of Irrigation has commenced renovation activities in Kahavatta in Beliatta. 20 million rupees have been allocated in this regard. Water facilities will be provided to 750 acres of paddy lands, and many farmer families will be benefited. And that was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
In sports news, legendary Birmingham rocker Ozzy Osbourne made a surprise appearance to bring the curtain down on a hugely successful Commonwealth Games in fabulous fashion. Osbourne and his band Black Sabbath received a rapturous ovation from 30,000 capacity crowd at the Alexander Stadium as they provided a fitting climax to star-studded closing ceremony. The Earl of Wessex, Prince Edward, officially declared the games closed after the flag handover to Victoria, the Australian state that will host the 2026 edition. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, in the backdrop of declining volumes, tea prices are on the rise sharply, with July establishing record national sales average both in rupee and dollar terms. Forbes and Walker tea brokers said in July, as well as year to date, all elevations have recorded significant gains. For example, the total auction average of 1,448.13 rupees per kilo, the high-grown average of 1,204.57 rupees per kilo, medium-grown average of 1,152.29 rupees per kilo, and low-grown average of 1,608.57 rupees were highest ever. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Cementing its reputation as one of the world's most successful banks, HNB plc was ranked among the top 1,000 world banks for the sixth consecutive year by the prestigious Banker magazine. Based in the United Kingdom, the Banker magazine is a premier global banking and finance resource renowned for its global financial intelligence since 1926. The Banker's top 1,000 world banks ranking has set industry benchmarks since 1970, providing comprehensive intelligence about the health and wealth of the global banking sector. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
In the weather report, the Met Department says that several spells of light showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Kandy, Matra, Gaul and Nuwara Eliya districts. Fairly strong winds, about 40 kilometers per hour, can be expected at times over the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern and north central provinces and in the Trincomalee district. That was the weather report, and to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The adjournment debate on government's policy statement begins today. The President praises the defence sector for their efforts to safeguard the judiciary, executive and the Constitution. The President also pointed out that the unrest situation which prevailed in the country was more dangerous than the North-East War. Japan provides 26 million rupees worth essential medicines to pregnant women and youth in the country. Cost-based pricing formula for domestic LP gas. The government has decided to develop 7 urban councils as 3 Pradeshya Sabhas. Foreign news, China continues drills in possible attempt to normalize pressure against Taiwan. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.